Hello everyone. I hope you all are keeping well. And as you can see on the whiteboard on the top where I have written Merchant of Venice, so I think you would have understood that I am going to take your English class. Yes, you are correct. So Merchant of Venice is a play that you need to study in your English literature portion. And not only this Merchant of Venice, you also have prose and poetries from the other book, which is Treasure Trove. So, step by step, we are going to cover your portion. Alright, as of now, we are going to start off with this play, Merchant of Venice, which is a very famous play and it is written by William Shakespeare. This is the book of Merchant of Venice. Now, before going into the acts and scenes of this whole play, I want you to understand few things before starting the lessons. I want you to understand these few things that I have jotted down on the board. This will help you when we proceed in the acts and the scenes. Alright, there are total 5 acts in this play. Merchant of Venice, as this word merchant means a person who is an owner of ships and who is also engaged in business dealings across countries. Okay, and Venice is a city in Italy. Venice is a city in Italy. Okay, this play, Merchant of Venice, was written somewhere between 1596 to 1599. Okay, next let us see on what genre is it written. You will find elements of romance. You will also find elements of classical comedy in this whole play. Now, you might think that what is classical comedy now? See, comedy we all are aware about that anything that entertains you is comedy. But classical comedy is something which not only entertains you but at the same time it also aims at bringing a change in the society. It is related to transformation of the society for some good cause. Okay. The next part is enactment. This play was enacted in Globe Theatre, which is a very famous London based theatre. This Globe Theatre is situated in London and it is very famous for its plays. So, William Shakespeare, as we have heard about him as a well renowned writer, and not only Merchant of Venice, he has also written famous other plays like Othello, As You Like It, Macbeth. The next part is Renaissance period. Now, why am I talking about all these things? Because the reason is that they are related to the main play of Merchant of Venice. All are somewhat related to the play. Just keep this in your mind. This Renaissance period actually stretches from 14th to 17th century. Therefore, this play was written in a time between 14th to 17th century. Therefore, we can say that it was written during the Renaissance period. Alright? And what is the speciality of this Renaissance period? What is the speciality of this period? There are two things. Okay? It is a period of social change. Therefore, in this Renaissance period, there was transformation which was taking place in the society. Therefore, it is known as a period of social change. Got it? And the next part is something which is related to your play. Jewish were dominated by the Christians. So, in those days, the Jewish people and the Christians, they did not have good relations with each other. They had a sense of hatred towards each other. Okay? Therefore, we will find even in the play that the Jewish were getting dominated by the Christian people. The next part is plot of the play. This is one of the most important thing. The plot of the play. You need to understand this portion carefully. Now, the first part is the Bond story. These are the plots of the play. Bond story, casket story, elopement of Jessica and Lorenzo, ring story. Now, so before going into who is Jessica, who is Lorenzo, who is Shylock, Antonio, Graciano, Bassanio, so on the screen you will get to see all the characters of the play. Now let us one by one go through the characters in the play. The first is the Duke of Venice. Who is the Duke? Duke is a man with a high social rank, man holding a very high authority. Next is Prince of Morocco, Prince of Aragon. They are all suitors to Portia. What do we mean by suitor? Suitor is a man who wants to marry Portia. Okay, so not only Prince of Morocco and Prince of Aragon, there are also other suitors which is not mentioned over here, which we will study in Act 1 Scene 2. Okay, suitors like Neapolitan Prince, Falcon Bridge. I am not giving you all the details now, otherwise the fun of learning will go. Okay, Antonio now. Antonio, a merchant of Venice. He is one of the central characters in the play. He is a wealthy merchant. He is a gentleman figure. Why am I saying this? Because he was a man of his words. He was a man of his words and a true friend. Why am I calling him a very true friend? That we will come to know as we proceed in this play. Clear? You will by yourself understand why have I told you that he was a true friend. Next is Bassanio. He is a friend of Antonio and he is also a suitor to Portia. He wanted to marry Portia. Let me tell you, Bassanio was, a true lover, we can say. He was a true lover and he was also a spendthrift person. What do we mean by spendthrift? A person who always likes to, spend his money uselessly on things which is not necessary. So a spendthrift person he was. He always wanted to live a luxurious life. Doesn't matter whether he is having a meager income. So what he used to do, he used to take loans from his friends. He also took loan from Antonio. Next is Graciano. He is another friend of Bassanio and Antonio. He is in love with Nerissa. Nerissa was the maid of Portia. Lorenzo, he is another friend and he is in love with Jessica. So Jessica and Lorenzo, here it is also a plot of the play, elopement of Jessica and Lorenzo. So they both ran away with each other because they loved each other. Jessica was she was Jewish. Shylock was a Jewish man, therefore his daughter becomes a Jew. Lorenzo is a Christian guy, therefore, as earlier also in the Renaissance period when I was explaining you that the Jewish and the Christians, they did not have good relations with each other. They disliked each other. They had hatred towards each other. Therefore, here Jessica and Lorenzo, they had no other option than to run away, because Jessica's father would never have allowed Jessica to marry Lorenzo. Next is Leonardo. He is a servant who serves for Bassanio. Salarino, Salanio, they are all friends of Antonio. Shylock, a rich Jew and a money lender. Shylock is another main character in the play, and with the role of Shylock, there is a turning point in the play. There is a turning point in the play. Okay, he was a revengeful man. He was a very revengeful man, manicurous man. Okay, and he is a Jew. Therefore, we can understand his feelings with regard to Christians. Jessica, Shylock's daughter, Tubal, another Jew, and he is Shylock's friend. Lancelot Gobbo, he is a clown and a servant to Shylock. Okay, so Lancelot Gobbo was a fun-loving man. At the same time, he was very lazy. Old Gobbo, Lancelot's father. Portia, an heiress of Belmont. So Portia used to live in Belmont, and she was the heiress of this place. Nerissa, her lady in waiting, she was the maid of Portia. Okay, Balthazar and Stefano, servants to Portia. Balthazar and Stefano, these are the names which are used in disguise. Now, what do I mean by names being used in disguise? So, Portia and Nerissa, they actually took the role of a man. So if a man taking the role of a woman is known as disguising. Alright? Similarly, a woman can also take the role of a man. If I give you a small example to make you understand, you might have in your television watched Kapil Sharma show where the men characters, they take characters of women and they come and play on the stage. Alright, so similarly over here, Nerissa and Portia, they also took the avatar of man, and this is how they got disguised over here. Now let us come back to the plot of the play. The first is the bond story. Now, in general terms, when I ask you what is a bond, you can say that it is a relationship. But here, the meaning of bond is something else. It is a legal agreement. Okay? Why am I calling it a legal agreement? Here, this is actually related to Bassanio and Shylock. Shylock was a money lender. Okay? And Bassanio, as I have given you the characteristics of Bassanio, that he was a spendthrift man. Alright? Therefore, he also wanted to marry Portia. Therefore, the first thing that he need to do, he wanted to have money so that he could reach this place, Belmont, in order to marry Portia. He is having no money now. So he goes and meets his friend Antonio, and Antonio even says that he is not having money right now. Therefore, he asks Bassanio that he could take his name as a credit and he could go and ask money from the money lenders of Venice. Therefore comes the role of Shylock, who is a money lender. Therefore, this legal agreement was made between Bassanio and Shylock. And here, Antonio also has a role in this legal agreement. Now I am not going to tell you everything in detail. Okay? As we proceed, we will come to know the things clearly. Okay? The casket story. What is a casket? Casket is actually a box, So, Portia's father was dead. So, before his death, he made a will for his daughter, Portia. And according to that will, any man who wants to marry Portia has to play this game of casket. So, this is how a casket looks. Okay, it is a kind of a box, and there are things inside this casket. So, there are three caskets. The first one is a gold one, the next one is a silver one, and the third one is a lead one. Okay, so any man who wants to marry Portia will come and play this game, and he has to choose one casket. So there is, the will says that according to this game, if a man loses, he will never be able to come back again and play this game. So now or never. This is the condition. Suppose this is the right casket. If a man comes and chooses this right casket, what he will receive inside? There will be a will which was left by her father, Portia's father, and there will be an image of Portia. There will be an image of Portia. So these two things the person who chooses the right casket will find. Alright. So this was the part of casket. Next, elopement of Jessica and Lorenzo. I already told you that they both ran away because they both were in love with each other, and Shylock would never allow Jessica to get married to Lorenzo because he was a Christian fellow and they were Jewish. The ring story, this is a disguise story. So this is a very important role over here. This is a very important plot, I mean to say. Here both Nerissa and Portia, they both disguise themselves. Okay, they take the role of a man as Balthazar and Stefano. So as we proceed one by one, each and everything will be clear to you. Okay, each and everything will be clear to you. So these were some of the important things that I wanted you to understand. This will be helpful for you. Okay, so in the next video we are going to start with the acts. Okay, so if you like the video, do like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.